Ladies and gentlemen, oh, how polite, how formal, how civilized. Isn't it funny how we dress things up to make them look prettier than they really are? But we're not here for pretty words today, are we? No, no, no. We're here for the truth, the cold, hard, ugly truth that no one wants to admit. So allow me to drop the pleasantries, cut through the fluff, and get right to the heart of the matter. Don't forgive. Nah, don't forget. Don't forgive. Don't forget. These words might seem harsh, even cruel, but they resonate deeply with the human experience. We live in a world that often encourages forgiveness as a virtue, a sign of strength and compassion. Yet, in this rush to forgive, we overlook the scars that past wrongs leave behind. We are taught that forgiveness is a path to healing. But what if it merely serves to bury the pain instead of addressing it? We often find ourselves in situations where we feel pressured to forgive, pressured to move on as if nothing happened, as if the betrayal, the hurt, the trauma could simply be wiped clean with a few kind words. But let's face it, not every wound heals with time or with the simple act of saying, "I forgive you." By choosing not to forgive, we acknowledge the reality of our experiences. We validate the hurt, the injustice, and the pain. Remember, forgiveness can sometimes feel like a dismissal of our feelings. It can feel as though we're being told to forget the past, to sweep it under the rug as if it never happened. But we are not built to forget. Our memories, whether painful or joyful, shape who we are. They inform our decisions, our relationships, our outlook on life. To forget is to erase a part of ourselves. And who wants to live in a world devoid of the lessons learned from hardship? When we refuse to forgive, we take a stand. We say, "This mattered. This hurt me. This is part of my story." We honor our feelings rather than dismissing them. In refusing to forgive, we also refuse to allow the offender to dictate our emotional state. We reclaim our power, our autonomy. The act of remembering can be an act of strength. It enables us to learn and to grow. It forces us to confront what has happened, to analyze it, to understand it. It allows us to transform our pain into wisdom. But what about the burden of holding on to anger, resentment, and hurt? Doesn't that weigh us down? Yes, it can. And this is where the second part comes into play. Don't forget. While we may choose not to forgive, we also shouldn't let these feelings consume us. Holding on to negativity can create a toxic environment in our hearts and minds. The challenge lies in transforming that energy into something constructive. It's about channeling our experiences into resilience. It's about using our memories to fuel our strength rather than our bitterness. When we remember without bitterness, we create space for healing. We learn to protect ourselves, to establish boundaries, and to understand that not everyone deserves a place in our lives. We learn to discern between those who uplift us and those who bring us down. The memories that haunt us can also guide us toward healthier relationships in the future. We can become advocates for ourselves and for others who have endured similar struggles. By sharing our stories, we can inspire change and foster understanding. So let's embrace the truth of our experiences. Let's not rush to forgive simply because society tells us it's the right thing to do. Instead, let's take the time to process, to feel, and to remember. Let's turn our pain into power. Let's hold on to our stories, both the beautiful and the ugly. Let's not forgive and forget. Instead, let's remember and learn. This is where true growth resides, in the acknowledgement of our journeys and the strength we find in facing them head on.